Hi, I'm Jen, and today we are sewing the Jammin Joggers. We're going to start with the side panel assembly. You're going to take the pocket band and fold it wrong sides together and find the center point. Then you're going to take the side panel piece and find the center point of that and line up the pocket band and stretch it to the ends to fit. You're going to place the inner pocket right sides together with a side panel piece and clip it all together. We're going to repeat those steps for the other side. Once we have it all clipped together, we're going to take that to our sewing machine or our serger, and we're going to sew those together with a 1/2 inch seam allowance. After you sew it, you're going to flip the inner pocket piece so that it's wrong sides together with the side panel. You can top stitch the band if you would like to do that. Repeat for the other side. Now we are going to take the other pocket piece and line up the bottom, the non-angled side, with the bottom of the inner pocket. Your notches should all be lined up. So we're going to sew the bottom of the pocket with a 1/2 inch seam allowance. We're going to line up our pocket pieces along the side panel. Make sure you line up the notches, and then we're going to baste the pocket on each side. Make sure that your pocket band gets into the seam allowance. So now we're going to baste on each side about a 1/4 inch away from the edge. Remember, you have a 1/2 inch seam allowance, so you have some wiggle room. So I just basted with a long straight stitch. Made sure to go slow and made sure those bands were in there. So we're going to do that for both pocket pieces. And then we will have our side panels fully assembled. So now you're going to place your pieces together. You're going to take the front leg piece and line it up with the side panel and clip along the straight edge. And then you're going to take your back leg piece and line it up and clip along the straight edge. There is a notch on the back piece that lines up with the notches on the side panel. You repeat for the other side. And then you will have your 2 leg pieces all clipped together and ready to be sewn. The side panel has an angle, and that angle goes up towards the back piece. So now we're going to sew all of that with a 1/2 inch seam allowance. Look. We check our work and make sure the band got sewn correctly in, so that we can go back and fix that if we need to. Yay, one leg is complete. I accidentally clipped the leg a little bit wrong, so I adjusted that. Now we're going to sew that. And then our other leg piece will be complete. Woohoo! Now you're going to place your 2 leg pieces right sides together and pin along the crotch curves. You're going to sew the front crotch curve and the back crotch curve with a 1/2 inch seam allowance. Everything is a 1/2 inch seam allowance. Now you're going to line up the crotch points and clip the inseam together. I like to put a clip at the crotch point and at the bottom of each leg, and then clip in between. Now we're going to sew the inseam And then our pant legs will be done. Don't forget to hydrate. We're going to turn the pants right sides out. Now we're going to fold the waistband right sides together and sew the short ends together with 1/2 inch seam allowance. We're going to fold the waistband wrong sides together and find those quarter points. We're also going to make sure we quarter the top of the pants. And we're going to line up the waistband. The seam of the waistband goes with the back seam of the pants. You're going to have to stretch the waistband between the quarter points and add more clips. Make it stretch all evenly there. Yay, now we can sew on our waistband. We're going to stretch the waistband and not the top of the pants. We're going to sew that on with 1/2 inch seam allowance. Yay, we have a waistband. Now we get to do the leg cuffs. We're going to fold those right sides together and sew along the raw edges. And do that for both of them. We're going to fold them up wrong sides together and find the halfway points. Yay, now our leg cuffs are ready to go on. You're going to find the halfway point on the leg pants. You're going to match the seam of the leg cuff with the inseam of the pants. You're going to clip those on. You're going to sew the cuffs on with 1/2 inch seam allowance. And now our pants are done. Woohoo! They are super comfy. They have lovely pockets. These are a unisex fit. And they are roomy and comfy. I did Carmine waist to Marigold hips in custom cotton Lycra.